Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Introduction to Healthcare. I wanted to do a quick video. I do this every week to go over the week's assignments with you so you know what to expect and what I expect of you for the assignments. So once you get into your course, you can go to Getting Started. And I need you to, if you haven't already ordered your textbook, make sure that you order your textbook. If you have not ordered or received your textbook, please email me and let me know as soon as possible so that I know that you do not have it, and we can, if you ordered it from the Kaiser bookstore, I can help you. If you order it from Amazon or Chegg or anything like that, unfortunately I'm not able to help you. You'll have to contact them. Complete your certification, which tells me and the university that you're going to complete your own work, that you will not cheat on that. Your pre-test, which is an ungraded assignment but required. What that does is the pre-test tells me where your knowledge lies, so I know how to design the course around that. It also is a baseline for what you know now, and then in 4 weeks you'll take the post-test, and that will measure how much you've learned over those 4 weeks. Go into introduction and introduce yourself to your fellow students and to me, and feel free to reply to your fellow students. This will get you used to how to do a discussion post if you're not already familiar with that. There's also a program resources section. If you're unfamiliar with APA citations and references, this is a good place to go. You can go to program resources and click on APA resources, and you'll see that there are several resources here for APA on how to set up your paper, how to correctly cite a source and why you cite a source, as well as a reference. And if you're having any difficulties with this after you've looked at this, please call me or email me, and I can either set up a one-on-one Kaiser Live with you to explain APA or to help you understand it better. Alright, so going to week 1, you've completed your certification, you've completed your pre-test, and you've completed your introduction. Now, if you complete any of those on a Sunday, this Sunday, it does not count for attendance. So you'll have to log in and complete something on Monday for attendance to start. Sundays are open for you to look at the class and see what's expected of you. So you want to start with your reading, chapter 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is on your career in healthcare. Chapter 2 is current healthcare systems and trends. And so this course is pretty much an overview of what healthcare is. Some of you who are working in healthcare, this will be kind of like a review for you. Those of you who are not working in healthcare, this will be completely new. So those of you who are in healthcare, when we get to the discussions, please feel free to share your experiences so that others can learn from your experiences. Okay, so for week 1, we have a discussion. And the way the discussions work is your first post, which should be to answer the response 1, where it says chapter 1 discusses thinking like a professional. In your own words, what does it mean to think like a healthcare professional? And then from the chapter, you want to list several examples of what they provide as thinking like a professional is. Then think of a time when you encountered someone or an instance of unprofessionalism in the healthcare arena. If you don't have an example from the healthcare arena, you can use any example of unprofessionalism. However, I would prefer it to be in healthcare since that's what we're learning about. And then share that without violating any privacy. So that should be done by Thursday. And then somewhere in between there, you need to post to at least 2 students, and then you also need to complete your response 2. Now the way this works is you'll have at least 4 separate responses on 3 separate days. And what that will do is that will get you the credit. You have met the requirement, so you have met the requirement. But that does not get you full credit. If you want full credit for this, you want to exceed the requirement, then you need to post above and beyond the required number of posts. So therefore, you need at least 5 separate posts on 3 separate days. So what does that mean? You do your response 1 on Thursday, that's 1 post. You respond to either me or a fellow student, that's another post. You respond to another student, that's the 3rd post. And you're doing all this either, maybe you did that on Friday, so those 2 posts. Then Saturday, you do maybe your 2nd response, your response 2. And then Sunday, you might respond to another student. And when you do that, that will get you 5 separate posts on 3 separate days, getting you the full credit for that. If you have any questions, please contact me and I can clarify this for you. And the first week, I will probably, if I see you getting to a point where you're not meeting that requirement, I will probably nudge you a little bit. All right, then you have your week 1 assignment. Your week 1 assignment is actually due in week 2. However, you also have an assignment in week 1. Okay, so the assignment is that you're going to look at problem solving and decision making in your own life. So as it says here, problem solving and decision making are important in the healthcare arena as well as in your own daily life. The 5-step problem solving process can be found in your text, pages 32 through 34. The 5 steps are: identify the problem. So you need to look into your own life and identify a problem that you're comfortable with sharing. And you need to be careful because, as it says in the book, sometimes what we identify as a problem is actually a symptom of what's truly the problem. So if I say losing weight is a problem for me, it's really not losing weight is the problem, it's the decisions I make while trying to lose weight. Then you want to gather as much information on that problem as you can. You want to go out and look. So for instance, if diabetes is a problem for me, I go to the American Diabetes Association. I might get on a social media forum to find out what other people are doing and gather as much information on this subject as possible. Then once you have that information, you're going to create alternatives. You're going to brainstorm anything that comes to your head, and you're going to write it down on a piece of paper and create alternatives that you might be able to choose from. Now with brainstorming, you're going to come up with things that may not be feasible, so you get rid of those right away, and now you're left with your alternatives that you've written down. From that, you want to choose an alternative and take action on that alternative. Now, you could choose like a hybrid. Maybe you have 2 alternatives that might work together. So you could do that, or you could just choose one. And then once you've chosen that alternative, the most important part is to take action. How do you plan to take action? When do you plan to take action? Without taking action, it's just a plan that hasn't been executed. And then how do you plan to evaluate whether you're successful in your choice? And then what's your plan for revision if it needs to be revised after evaluation? So those are the 5 steps, and you should start working on this immediately because you do need to submit it to the online writing lab by the end of week 1 on Sunday. Once you submit that, and again, if you go to the home page, go to My Organizations, go to Kaiser Writes Online Writing Lab, OWL, and you can go to Start Here, and they'll show you how to submit a paper and how to fill out the submission form, or you can go directly to Submit a Paper. So you'll have to fill out the OWL submission form and submit that along with your paper that should be written in Word, so make sure you follow all the directions in the classroom, and submit this to the OWL. The OWL will send you a confirmation email. And then from there, they will return your paper and submission form within about 24 to 48 hours. And once you receive that, forward that email to me so I can see what their recommendations are. And then you go back during week 2 and make those changes and recommendations to your paper for your final draft, and then you submit it to me on week 2 in the drop-in box, which I'll show you in week 2. So for right now, what you need to worry about is get started on thinking about your problem, get started on your rough draft, and then get that submitted by the end of the week to the OWL. And I will remind you throughout the week about that. Let's go back to the course. All right, so I think I told you in my welcome video, I am very strict on spelling and grammar. Number one, we are now college level students, so spelling and grammar is very important, especially in the field of healthcare. You are documenting a legal medical record, and if you spell something incorrectly or use it incorrectly in a sentence, it could be misinterpreted by the doctor or the nurse who is treating the patient, which could result in a catastrophic event, and you don't want that to happen. So I am very tough on spelling and grammar. So if you're bad with spelling and grammar, write your post, your discussion post in Word, do a spell check, grammar check on it, then copy and paste it and put it into your discussion. Your paper should be written in Word anyway, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing a spelling grammar check on that. If you're unfamiliar on how to do that, in the program resources section, there is a tutorial video on how to conduct a spelling and grammar check as well. All right, and then after the discussion, you have your week 1 quiz. So there's a lot to begin with, but you can get through it. And if you need help, like I said in my introduction of my welcome video, communication is the key. Email me, you can call me, and if need be, I'll set up a one-on-one Kaiser Live, and we can go through it so that you can see what I'm talking about. But I look forward to this term, and again, if you have any questions, contact me. Have a good day.